Welcome back to the Reddit Guy channel, where we break down and digest Reddit stories. Let's see the story we have for today. Story 1. I told the mistress that she got the leftovers and she's not happy about that. I have been married to my husband for 15 years. I have a great life and I love everything about it. He has a great career and I feel very spoiled. I only work with what I love, which is designing jewelry, and the profit from that would never give me the life I am living. I have not paid bills in years, and I spend my days in my studio, working out, or having fun with my friends. Our families are very close, and we have a big social circle that I love very much. He is great. He cooks and cleans with me, and I never feel like I do more than him. He makes my favorite food every Friday, and he would drive at 3 o'clock in the morning if I was feeling down and wanted a burger or candy. I want to believe that I do the same for him, other than the fact that I cannot drive. Cheating on me was a mystery to me. I was in shock for a long time, but I could not tell anyone because I did not want my life to crumble. Then I got used to it. I let go of the love and just kept the friendship and companionship. I want my house, my travels, and my family and friends. Everything I have, thanks to him. I got her "Hey girly" message last month, and I did not even open it. It was on Instagram, but I did not accept her request to speak, so she reached out on TikTok instead. Later, I found a request on Facebook Messenger too. Then I do not know how, but she got my number and called me. I answered because I thought it was a buyer, and she cornered me. I froze, and she calmly told me to see what she left on Instagram and TikTok. I hung up in panic. So I opened her "Hi girly" text. I could not help but feel confused. She pretended that she did not know I existed, even though I had seen all her texts about me. She claimed she had never seen me when I know she has. I did not read all of it, but I wrote to her that I knew about the affair and that she could stop lying because I knew for a fact that she knew he was married and to whom. She became very hostile very fast and told me that if I was better, maybe he would not have strayed. You know the rest. I told her she could have my leftovers, the parts of him that I do not want and that she claims I neglected. I told her she could have his body and even his heart. I have the other, more important things. I have half of everything else, at least. So the leftovers are truly hers. Congratulations. She went berserk with insults, and I blocked her. I have been crying since. What do people like her want when they contact the partner of their affair? I am not looking for advice to leave him. I love my life, and his love and sex do not matter to me anymore anyway. Excuse my very bad grammar. I will try to edit and correct when I find errors, but I do not really write a lot in English in my life. Let's take some comments. Commenter 1. What do people like her want when they contact the partner of their affair? In this case, my guess would be that she wanted you to find out about the affair, get upset, repeatedly fight with your husband about it, get divorced, and leave him to her. I'm assuming he had no intention of leaving you for her, so she went behind his back to try to force it. Commenter 2. Yes, because she wants the material things the original poster has, but she cannot have them unless the original poster divorces him, so her tactic was to drive the original poster away, but it does not work. Commenter 3. My wife's cousin had a long-term affair with a very wealthy man who was clear about not leaving his wife. 5 years in, she wanted more and tried to force the issue by calling the wife, and she was not happy with the answer. Basically, the wife said, "I know, you are not the first, and you will not be the last. You are most likely not the only one at the moment. I like my lifestyle, and you cannot have it." This is my view about the story. This story feels less about revenge and more about control. The mistress likely wanted a reaction, anger, heartbreak, a dramatic confrontation, something that would shift the balance in her favor. Instead, she got indifference, and sometimes that stings more than rage. Still, beneath the calm words, you can feel the sadness in the original poster. Even when someone says love doesn't matter anymore, it usually once did. Story 2. Me, 30, female, with my boyfriend, 34, male, of 2 years, thinking of breaking up due to his nieces and nephews. I will try to keep this short. I have been with Dallas, 34, for 2 years. I met him through my sister, Lilu, 36, and her husband, Corbin, 45. Issue. Here is the problem. While I truly enjoy spending time with Dallas, he seems to view us as married already. He refers to my animals as his pets to people, even though I have asked him not to. They're not his pets and never will be. He views my home, which I paid for myself, as our future home. I have been honest about how I see my future. My house is my house. My pets are my pets. I do not intend to get married or have children. I have also told him how uncomfortable small children make me. I do not allow them in my home. Dallas has always been honest about his own life and seemed to understand that these were things I was not willing to compromise on at all. 2 days ago, I was at Dallas's house when he was talking to his sister, Jean, 40, about her visiting with her kids. She asked him to watch them for a week while she headed to Las Vegas. He told her, Zorg, 5, Diva, 7, and Plavalaguna, 9, are welcome at our home anytime. Bring them by the week we get back from our vacation. We are going to Canada for a week. Since we were at his townhouse when the call happened, I assumed he meant his place. When he hung up, he told me I needed to go grocery shopping for the kids. Plavalaguna is apparently a very picky eater and has to be gluten-free because of the special autism diet her mom has her on. Diva and Plavalaguna both have special needs. I told him I would help him shop, but that I was busy most of the week and did not have time to entertain his nieces and nephews. He started saying things like, I won't let them bother the kiddies too much. They can play in the pool. It is a koi pond, so no, they cannot. There is so much room. They can play in the backyard with the dogs and not be a bother. I told him I did not want the kids to come over at all. They could stay at his house. He has enough room and there is a park around the corner. I have always been clear about this. He seemed to laugh it off. He did not even discuss having them come over with me. He just ignored every conversation we had about me disliking children under 10 and not doing well with special needs. I told him how angry this made me. We had a conversation about it, but he would not relent. I felt like he didn't listen and didn't care about my property, my desires, or my needs. It felt like he just wanted to show off to his sister. I feel he did not earn having a house with a yard, and he did not save up to have a house he is proud of. Instead, he spends all his money on hobbies. I do not want my house destroyed by 3 kids. I do not want them over. I would like some advice on how to handle this. Update. I was with Dallas, 34, for 2 years. I met him through my sister, Lilu, 36, and her husband, Corbin, 45. Summary. Dallas wanted to have his nibblings, Zorg, 5, Diva, 7, and Plavalaguna, 9, come stay at my home for a week despite me telling him no. Dallas and I broke up. We were broken up for about a week, then he called and begged me to take him back. I gave him another chance, stupidly. It lasted 2 days. Now I'm done with him for good, though he keeps calling me. The first fight was over the original issue. When he called to apologize, he said he would ask next time, and that was the end of it. We would not talk about it again. I guess we both assumed we were right and that the other would eventually give in. The last fight happened when Dallas heard I was hosting a barbecue for my sister Lilu and her husband Corbin during the week the kids were supposed to be there. It was for Corbin's work friends because of his promotion. It was going to be adults only. Corbin bragged about my koi pond.
He has a few fish in there that he bought, and he helps me maintain it. His friends wanted to see it, and I said that was fine, as long as they did the dishes afterwards. I hate dishes. I offered to help cook. I told Dallas about it, and he said he would bring the kids. I told him there would be no kids because it was work-related and not a casual family event. He became very upset. He said it would be a lot of work to bring the kids to his house when they could just stay at mine and not bother anyone. I asked him why he thought the kids would be there at all. He told me because you agreed to have them. I told him that was not happening. He was not invited to the barbecue, and we were not going to Canada together. Well, I was, he was not. I had a friend stay at my house while I went on the trip with my sister. So now I'm single. The barbecue was great. Dallas has stopped by several times trying to talk to me. I threatened to call the police. He still sends me long emotional messages on Facebook, even though I blocked him. He uses his friends' accounts to contact me. That is the end of the drama. Thank you for the advice and everything. If you have anything useful, tips and tricks, or whatever you call ditching a crazy ex, I could use it. Comments. Commenter 1. It obviously was not about the nieces and nephews. The problem was clear before the kids entered the story. Commenter 2. The Fifth Element names are sending me. Commenter 3. I'm so glad someone else noticed that. Peace and love to little baby Plava Laguna. Sorry, your uncle is the problem. Here is what I think about the story. This was never really about the kids. It was about boundaries, clear ones that were repeatedly ignored. When someone keeps reframing your no as a future yes, that's not misunderstanding. That's entitlement. In the end, she didn't just protect her house, she protected her autonomy. And that's worth more than any relationship built on being overruled.
Story 3. I, 30 male, hate my girlfriend's online persona even though I love her. I love my girlfriend. We have been together for about 8 months and we have a great relationship and all of that. But her online social media personality is just unbearable. If you searched for a list of the most annoying social media habits, she pretty much does every single one. She is a rampant oversharer. Her Snapchat documents every remotely interesting thing that happens to her every day, from pictures of her breakfast to mirror selfies to funny stories about her day. At night, after being apart for 12 hours, she'll start telling me about her day, and I find myself saying repeatedly, "Yes, I saw that on Snapchat, Facebook, or Instagram already." Every interesting thing that happens to her, I find out through social media first. Her Facebook is full of rants detailing the ups and downs of her mood or humble brags about good deeds she has done. Her Instagram is mostly pictures of herself. Between Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and her blog, she probably posts 20 times a day. My friends and family who meet her in person say she's sweet, kind, and funny, but once they follow her online, they all say she seems irritating and vain. In the beginning, I tried to accept it, live and let live, but it is becoming a real issue for me. If I only knew her through her online personality, I probably would not like her, but I know she is not actually like that in person. I think she is insecure and likes the attention because face-to-face she is genuinely sweet. What is interesting is that she was not always like this. At the beginning of our relationship, she didn't even have Snapchat or Instagram and barely posted on Facebook. This all started suddenly about 4 months in, and I don't know how to stop hating it. I don't know how to tell her that her social media makes her appear cocky, vain, rude, or selfish. It doesn't match how she sees herself. On top of that, her constant updates have made me feel less significant. I feel like anyone who follows her knows just as much about her life as I do. I've tried to bring this up, but she becomes very defensive. I don't want to sound controlling, which is probably how it comes across. She says it's just social media and not that serious, and she doesn't know why I'm making it a big deal. Maybe she's right, but I don't know how to get over it. Comments. Commenter 1.
Stop following her social media accounts. Reply from original poster. I'm not sure if that's the best or worst advice ever, but I like it either way. Commenter 2. It's excellent advice. Tell her you feel like you're living in a constant spoiler alert. You want to hear about her day when she tells you, not see it first on social media. Commenter 3. Next, she'll start complaining that you're not liking her posts. Reply from original poster. That has already happened. Update. Here is the maybe not unexpected update. I decided to go with the ignorance is bliss approach. I deleted Snapchat, deleted Instagram, and unfollowed her on Facebook. She noticed immediately. It was actually a little scary how quickly she noticed. She was confused at first and asked what was going on. It gave me the opportunity to explain again that her constant social media updates made me uncomfortable and unhappy. I told her I'd tried to discuss it before, but she became defensive, so this felt like the only option. She seemed to accept it for about a day. I felt so much better, lighter. But the peace did not last. She quickly became enraged. She was furious that I had not discussed it more with her before taking what she considered a drastic step. I understand her perspective, but I stand by my decision. I think she would have been just as upset if I had explained everything beforehand. The argument spiraled. She was fixated on the idea that her social media persona was not that bad. It was part of her personality, and she needed someone who loved all of her. She did not see my actions as constructive criticism, but as a direct insult. Simply ignoring that part of her was not an acceptable compromise. I even sent her an article explaining why constant posting can make someone appear self-absorbed. Her response was, "Is that really so bad?" She wouldn't even admit that being self-absorbed was a negative trait. Instead, she launched into a long explanation about why selfishness and vanity could be positive traits. After hours of arguing, we realized we were not compatible. This was unexpectedly important to her, and I couldn't stop resenting her online persona. So we broke up. Thanks, Reddit. Final comments. Commenter 1. She says it's just social media, it's not that serious, but she was furious that you did not discuss unfollowing her first and saw it as a drastic step. Commenter 2. This reminds me of a coworker's wife. I met them at a restaurant, and after greeting me, they both pulled out their phones and started scrolling Instagram and playing a mobile game. So I took out a small book I carry for situations like that. I worked for a decade in a secure facility where we couldn't have personal phones, so I never developed the habit of using my phone during idle time. After about 5 minutes, the wife noticed and started scolding me for being rude by reading at the table. I pointed out that she was reading Instagram, which is not much different. She argued that Instagram is less serious than a book. Commenter 3. I would just leave, or better yet, move to another table and enjoy my meal in peace. Personal commentary. This story was never just about Instagram or Snapchat. It was about values, privacy versus visibility, intimacy versus broadcasting. Neither of them was necessarily wrong, but they wanted very different things from the same space. Sometimes love isn't enough when the way you live your life, online and offline, feels fundamentally incompatible. Story 4. I have been pretending to understand my job for 8 months, and I think I have finally reached a level where I actually cannot fake it anymore. Do I come clean to my boss or just keep going? For context, I have a master's degree in something completely unrelated to this job. I got hired because I interviewed well, and apparently fast learner on a CV is legally binding. 8 months in, and I have been surviving entirely on confident nodding, strategic use of the phrase, "let me circle back on that," and a browser history that is basically Stack Overflow and what is the word my boss just said? Up until now, the stakes have been low enough that vibes could carry me. That era has ended. There is a meeting on Monday. There will be actual numbers and actual questions. My boss just told me I am leading it in a tone that suggested he thinks that is a reward. I have 4 days. I do not know if I should come clean, speed run 8 months of learning in 96 hours, or simply walk into the ocean. What should I do? Let's take some comments. Commenter 1. Fake it until you make it. You do not have 4 days. You have 4.5 days, including the weekend. Cancel your plans. You have been in meetings for months. You have some idea of what is expected, and fumbling a bit the first time you lead is normal. Also, you have done some learning over the last 8 months, right? Commenter 2. Learn the subtle art of finding out what everyone else is doing and then calling on them in the meeting so they explain it. All you really need to do is connect the dots between what Nick is doing and what Jody is doing. So Nick, you have some numbers around that. Can you give us a quick rundown? Nick explains his work. Great, thanks Nick. And Jody has been working with those numbers. Jody, where are you at with that? Jody explains her part. You position yourself as someone who understands the workflow, coordinates the team, and keeps things moving. From there, management, promotion, less hands-on work, more managing people, which often just means directing traffic and keeping the machine running. Commenter 3. That sounds like the movie version everyone romanticizes. Nick, you have those numbers? No, I thought you did. Jody? No, I was never told. Now you're exposed, and the team knows you were unprepared. That strategy only works if this is truly collaborative and everyone knows their roles. Personal commentary. First of all, if you have survived 8 months, you are not clueless. You are anxious. There is a difference. Most people feel like imposters at some point, especially when they're thrown into roles they weren't formally trained for. The real move here is not confession or ocean walking, it's preparation. Review past notes, clarify expectations with your boss, frame yourself as a facilitator if possible. Confidence got you hired, preparation will keep you there. Thanks for staying to the end. If you enjoyed the stories, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more interesting Reddit stories.